News to tell you about from the United States Senate tonight. The Senate confirmed tonight economist Lisa Cook to serve on the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. She will be the first black woman to sit on the board since its creation over a century ago. She is an accomplished economist and a former member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. But in order to confirm her tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris had to come down to the Senate to break a tie because, surprise, surprise, all 50 Republican senators voted against Dr. Cook, which means that even though the Democrats had the votes to confirm her, all 50 Republican senators made sure they were there for this nighttime vote because they all wanted to be on the record voting against this accomplished economist to be the first black woman ever to hold this position. Priority!
Damn, that's crazy. I mean, to get a nighttime vote, though, why were the Democrats voting in the middle of the night anyway? Is that what you have to do when you vote for black people? It's like, what the fuck? The middle of the night? But you know what? What really gets to me is that we play this game. The Democrats have decided that giving us a whole bunch of black... This happened back in 2021. Most people probably didn't pay much attention to it because it doesn't change your life. If this lady was Hispanic or Asian or white or a white man or a black man, I mean, I don't know if that it would matter very much in black people's lives. Yet, black Democrats keep placing black people in positions so you can say the first black this, the first black that. See, we're moving forward. Well, that's their version of forward movement, not ours. They should let us tell them what we need. They should work with us and allow us to chart our own path and our own future, or we're just slaves. Or we're just going to be accepting a slave role and allowing them to figure out what's best for us outside of our presence or in the presence of people who we elect who aren't advocating for us. So we have to look at it like that. It's like, God damn, this lady can't even get confirmed. Every Republican senator, every one of them voted no. Why? What is the problem? Is she qualified? I mean, maybe in their mind, they're looking at her like she ain't qualified. I don't know what the reason is why they vote, but it looks bad that not one of them would say, yeah, she's qualified to do that job. This isn't like she's going for a position like the vice president or the secretary of state. Although that is a prestigious and a high position that she's going for there. I'm just saying, what is the problem with the Republicans letting the lady through? A few of you vote yeah, then maybe the majority, but a few of you say ain't nothing wrong with this. You know, this isn't going to advance black people because that's what they're in lockstep on. Don't advance black people. But yeah, maybe they feel it will. Maybe they feel like the Democrats. Oh no. If we start putting them in high positions, then they'll all be in high positions. I mean, that might be a fear of theirs, but the reality is that's kind of not how it goes, you know. And then when you do, you have like still a second or third chance, because even if you do get black people in these positions, they're not black people who are really advocating for black people, because if they did, they wouldn't be looked at so highly, or they wouldn't be put, if they came to work every day and when you were in the break room and you bumped into them, those times when you related to them and liked them, it's because they were saying things that you looked at them as a black person and didn't feel threatened, or didn't feel like they were militant, or that they reminded you of the black people that you stereotype. So you were like, hey, and then you get to know them better and you find out, God, this person thinks just like I do, only they're black. This is great. I mean, it's got to be the most wonderful thing in the world as a white person to be able to point a black person who thinks just like you and isn't going to even do anything to help their own race. And that's what happened with this last administration. I don't know what in the hell Joe Biden is trying to pull with this black female shit. And then to get Kamala, who does not technically qualify. Because when we talk about black women, they are going to try to blur the lines to where black woman will soon be woman of color, and soon Hispanic women and Indian women and black women and Asian women will all be lumped together. So then just being a female of color will be the flavor of the day. But right now, they're still leaning in on black women because that is our reparations, and we don't even realize it. They are totally looking at that. It's like we are putting black, and if it is our reparations, why aren't black men included? Why are black men just being sent to prison? Why are prisons being built for us and anything on the outside good? You guys are willing to accept black women and do things specifically for black women. Why wasn't that position there given to a black male? Any child who's just learning politics or the way this country works would think that some of these positions are for women. Or why else would the president of the United States say, I'm going to hire a black woman for that? You'd be thinking, why? Can it only be a black woman? I mean, it would be different if he came out and said, I am very impressed by Kamala Harris or this other candidate, Val Demings, or whoever you're impressed by. But you have to say it by name, not by race. That's how they used to buy slaves. You get up there and say, I need a black man, a big, strong buck, because you know you're going to work the shit out of him. So you know what you need in that slave. And you don't care what his name is, or you don't care any of that other stuff, as long as he meets your criteria. So they go find you one and put him up there on the block and you buy him. Well, that's what it sounded like Biden was doing. Black woman, black female. You know, and people are gathering around that. I don't think it's positive at all. I think it's some weird ass way to be talking in this day and age, and it should have been checked at the door. Nobody should even went for that shit. You're accepting me as your black vice president because I'm black. I mean, as your vice president because I'm black and I'm female, not because I'm the best for the job. Look how hard it's making her job now. Because he made it look like he hired her for that one goddamn reason, which was dumb. Because now she's trying to overcome that shit. Instead of him saying, oh my God, Kamala Harris stands out above the rest. And have a few men in there. But what you did was just, we are guaranteed going to have a black VP. And then you didn't even do it right. You got us one who is not black, of African American slave descent, and that really opened up another can of worms for her, because everybody, celebrities included, are arguing back and forth over this, and there's not nothing to argue over. Just ask a black person. We know our race, just like you know your race. Whoever you are, whatever your race is, can't nobody come up to you and tell you somebody is of your race when they ain't. And we have a race that is very unique on this planet. So we know our race. And it's some people who look kind of white. Some of them look kind of related to me, because they are. And nothing you can do about that. You have the lighter complected, the darker complected, the brown complected, the reddish complected, red hair, freckles, all that. But we know what black people are, and it's an experience and an identification process that is just not for people on the outside to be making. And Joe Biden did not have that right. Jim Clyburn is a black man, ancestry of slaves, but he up there doing shaky shit. Just like a lot of our other politicians. And those ones need to be plucked and removed. He old as hell anyway. He need to get up out of there. He's from a different era. All of those guys. Close the door and get up out of here. We don't need it. And we don't need you guys to be doing this so people can come back later and call them DEIs. And if I was a woman, black woman, and they pick me by my race and gender, and didn't know anything about me, and I fit in there because of that. So if I wasn't this and that, then I wouldn't be that. Who wants to be hired like that? It diminishes your intelligence. It diminishes your qualifications. And when you try to go forward, you have to argue and fuss and fight with people who are questioning your qualifications. That's what Kamala going through. Her qualifications are in question because she was picked because of what? You know, Obama liked her. You know, a lot of people in the Democratic Party had their eye on her as a rising star and all that stuff. Well, a lot of people come along as rising stars, and the star don't rise. You know, and I think Kamala was pushed into this. And I don't think that Biden made the best decision in that stating publicly that a black female would be his VP pick. He should never have said no dumb shit like that. And it wouldn't have been a bad idea to have a black male as a VP. We've never had one. Have a black male as a VP. And I don't know. I don't even think it matter anymore. As far as us in VP and presidential spots, what difference does it make? You have to buy in to that system. So it doesn't matter what color you are. If a purple person is, you're not going to help purple people as long as you buy into that system. It's impossible for you to do anything other than vote in accordance with things that are going to advance that system and anything else. That's why they're fighting so hard right now. Trump got them shook right now, you guys. They fucked up over Trump because he is confusing people. Like, he's changing this democracy. Democracy will probably always be the way it is, not a real democracy. But if you understand how it rolls and you can get in where you fit in, and that's all I think black people need to do is find a place and get in. And the Democrats who feel they love us and feel they're looking out for us need to let us be us. Let us do us. Get back. Get the hands off. Too much jurisdiction is too much like slavery. If you don't like the direction we're going or what we're doing, you punish us or you stop it or you make it illegal. That's not the way life is supposed to work. You know, you got to let people be their self, live their cultures out, especially when you are such a heavy part of it and how they came to be who they are and where they are. It's the time to relinquish. And maybe that can even be looked at as some part of reparation, some form of it. Not all of it, but I mean, just showing the restraint and the ability to have the self-control to take your hands off these people. That is huge. People don't think it is, but it's huge. It is. It would be so beautiful if just we could take little baby steps. But with Kamala being picked in the way she is and all these other black women under this administration is just another example that was his plan for reparations. And Kamala is saying, I am ready to turn the page. We have paid our debt to whoever think we owed them one. She's standing there speaking to us out the mouth of part of our reparations was her. And it just doesn't make any sense. And for us to go for that shit, hell no, I ain't. But this is another one that they handpicked because she's black. Handpicked because if they would have picked a real black woman, and I don't mean like Kamala ain't really real black, but when I say real, I mean African American from descendant of slave. Because I think you just look at real. I'm really black. When I see people like me, they really black. I don't see people from Africa and say, oh, yeah, he really black. No, they really African. That's just how I look at it. Jamaicans, yeah, you really a Jamaican. Oh, you really from the Dominican. Y'all, we all black. But when you break it down, all white people ain't white. You know, but that's where Kamala is. They keep trying to blur that line when it works. And the bottom line is they just need somebody to toe the line and not deviate from where this country is meant to be going. And we ain't on the route. We standing at a bus stop and the bus is never coming. They canceled that route or they never even established it. So we standing over there waiting for nothing, basically. And Kamala Harris is not being a friend to black people. And for her to have adopted part of our culture and incorporated into her persona, it ain't right. You know, you have to, if you're going to be a part of the culture, be a part of the culture. But if, like Obama traded on us and did his little thing, you can't get out there. You ain't seen him on a basketball court since the election. What, do he still like basketball? What is Obama doing his off time? Does he shoot hoops? Probably not. That's just some bullshit they did to get us. And I don't like it. And I feel personally responsible because I knocked on doors. If anybody see my face and I knocked on your door during the Obama time, I can only apologize now and tell you I won't be knocking on your door again, especially for Kamala Harris. That ain't happening. But like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm going to do another video later on today, I hope. I've been so busy, you guys. I apologize. I miss you guys. And we'll see you on the next one.